New Zealand's housing landscape has drastically shifted from being a homeowner's dream to one of the least affordable in the OECD, with homeownership rates now at just 60% and declining. Historically, New Zealand had strong bipartisan support for homeownership and secure social housing until the early 1990s. The government previously ensured that people could afford homes throughout their lifetime and offered state houses for those unable to buy their own. However, these conditions have been dismantled, leaving homeowners and state housing tenants with less security. One notable subsidy was the capitalisation of family benefits, which in the 1960s covered about a third of the cost of an average house. Despite economic challenges, including Britain joining the EU and oral shocks, New Zealand continued to subsidise home ownership into the 1980s. At that time, the private rental market was small, and it was often cheaper to buy than rent, leading to a home ownership peak of 75%. Today, the situation is markedly different. Houses now cost about 8 times the average annual salary, a stark contrast to the 3 times salary ratio of the past. This affordability crisis has led to a severe collapse of tenure, pushing more people into an undersupplied and expensive private rental market, which then leads to increased demand for state housing and, ultimately, emergency housing. Some suggest solutions like rent-to-buy schemes, leasehold and shared equity to stabilise and rebuild home ownership. Some argue that New Zealand is exacerbating income inequality by adding asset inequality, as the lack of affordable housing denies lower-income people the opportunity to build wealth. This growing divide between those with and without assets would be a significant contributor to poverty in the country. Others say that there are still affordable homes under $500,000. While house prices have dropped slightly in recent months, many parts of the country still present challenges for potential buyers. Experts often assess housing affordability by comparing average household incomes to average property values, with a ratio of 3 to 4 times the average income considered affordable. With New Zealand's 2023 average household income at just over $125,000, a $500,000 home price is a reasonable benchmark for affordability. But where in New Zealand can you actually find a house for $500,000 or less? Not a townhouse, unit, or apartment, but a standalone house. Surprisingly, there are still some options. Kawerau, in the Bay of Plenty, stands out as the country's smallest and most affordable district, with an average property value of $401,000 over the past year. 91% of house sales in Kawerau were for $500,000 or less, giving buyers a strong chance of finding an affordable home. If Kawerau doesn't work out, Ruapehu in Manawatu Wanganui offers another affordable option, with an average property value of $411,000, and 88% of houses sold in the last year priced at or below $500,000. In the South Island, districts like Bulla, Gore, and Clutha also offer affordable housing, with average property values of $431,000, $483,000, and $463,000 respectively. Around 75% of homes in these areas sold for less than $500,000 over the past year. While these are largely rural communities, affordable homes can also be found in town and city settings. For example, Invercargill, with an average property value of $530,000, saw over 60% of its properties sold for under $500,000 in the last year, 556 out of 917 houses. Currently, 183 houses in Invercargill are listed for less than $500,000. Dunedin also offers affordability, with over a quarter of its properties selling for under $500,000. Christchurch is more challenging, with just over 9% of houses selling for less than $500,000, but that still amounted to 483 sales. Moving north, The North Island offers fewer affordable options, but over 10% of properties in New Plymouth, Palmerston North, Rotorua, and Whangarei sold for less than $500,000. Even in Napier, where affordable homes are scarce, 68 houses sold for $500,000 or less in the past year. The larger cities are the least affordable. In Auckland, less than 1% of houses sold in the past year were priced under $500,000, and in Wellington, the figure is below 5%. Queenstown Lakes District is the most extreme, with not a single house sold for under $500,000 in the past 12 months. Of the 38,000 residential properties currently for sale in New Zealand, less than 20% have a search price below $500,000, and of those, around 2,000 are standalone houses. The West Coast and Southland have the highest percentage of houses under $500,000, while Auckland has the lowest. In the country's major metropolitan areas, Queenstown offers no affordable options, while Dunedin leads with 21.5% of houses under $500,000, followed by Christchurch at 10.9%.